Hi everyone, welcome to the Dee-Brief with Dr. D. Real talk, real strategy, real leadership, one insight at a time. I'm your host, Dr. D, and this is your space for bold conversations, soul-deep reflections, and truth that transforms. Whether you're an executive, an entrepreneur, or an everyday change agent, this podcast is for you, navigating both public success and that private struggle. Each episode, we take a deep dive into emotional wellness, grief recovery, faith, leadership, and the tools you need to rise with clarity and with purpose. This isn't just strategy, it's healing. It's a calling. This is the Dee-Brief with Dr. D. Let's get into it. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Dee-Brief with Dr. D. I am Reverend Dr. Darlene Williams, and I want to welcome you to our new season. This is a place where we talk about real faith, real healing, real transformation, and real leadership, one insight at a time. And for many of us, our faith has been our anchor, our safe place, our place that we go to when life gets heavy. But what happens when the very place that's supposed to heal you ends up wounding you, right? What happens when your trust is betrayed, when your faith community lets you down, or when grief leaves you questioning God's plan? Has anyone ever been there? That's what this fall season is about. I've talked to so many people who have expressed this during our coaching sessions, and we want to talk this season about healing the heart of the believer. Healing the heart of the believer. Because we want to have honest, faith-filled conversations about the kind of pain we don't always talk about in church. Betrayal, burnout, grief, church hurt. Anyone ever heard of church hurt? Spiritual abuse and that silent suffering that believers sometimes have who still love God, but are learning how to trust again, right? No one's exempt. I've walked that journey myself. There was absolutely a season when I loved ministry, but ministry wasn't always loving back to me. Has that happened to you? I served, I led, I gave, and then I lost. When grief hit my life, it was like I felt like everything I believed was being tested. But I realized that God didn't use that season to destroy me. He used it to deliver me. And through my pain, He allowed me to give birth to my mission of helping others heal from what broke them, of helping people to reclaim their purpose, to rise with boldness, authenticity, and with peace. And that's why I created the Dee-Brief with Dr. D, so that we could have a safe space for people, leaders, executives, believers who are ready to talk about the hard stuff. That unspoken grief, that silent burnout, that betrayal trauma that we pretended didn't hurt. And we know it hurt us. Because, here's the truth that I learned. We can still love God and still need healing. We can serve faithfully and still be broken. We can preach hope and still wrestle with pain. But healing is not a sign of weakness. It's actually evidence that you're still alive, that you're still called and still becoming everything God created you to be. So this season, I'm accepting the call from the people we've been speaking to. We're going to dive deep into topics like when the church breaks your heart and how to heal from church hurt without losing faith. What betrayal looks like, but it doesn't break you, and how to recover from betrayal trauma. I met with someone who focuses on betrayal trauma. You're going to hear from her. And why sometimes when we grieve with God, how we can find strength when faith and loss collide. And then I love this one, the church and the mind, why mental health and spiritual health need to align. Each episode, we're going to have storytelling. We're going to have scripture. We're going to have strategy to help you heal from the inside out so that you can remember that your heart still matters to God. This season is going to be about recovery. It's going to be about restoration. It's going to be about rediscovering God's love after the pain. How to rebuild trust where disappointment once lived. And we're going to learn how to breathe again, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. So whether you're a pastor who's poured out until you're empty, whether you're a believer trying to trust again, or someone grieving what used to be, this series, this season, this fall was created for you. Because in God's eyes, you are not forgotten. You are being restored. So join me this season on the Dee-Brief with Dr. D, healing the heart of the believer. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen, and share this series with someone who you think can benefit from it, someone who needs to hear this story. It's going to be an amazing time of restoration and remembering that healing is holy work. So remember, your pain has purpose, your faith still works, and your healing is already underway. Grief doesn't have to take your life. It can be your becoming. This is Dr. D. I look forward to seeing you this season on healing the heart of the believer. Well, thank you for joining me today on the Dee-Brief with Dr. D. If this episode spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs a word of hope and clarity. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with our social media community. And remember, healing is not weakness, it's wisdom. You don't have to lead on empty. You don't have to rise alone. You were built to lead, to heal, and to thrive from the inside out. Until next time, lead well, heal deep, and walk boldly. This is Dr. D signing off.